We're into tier 1v1, Green Tooth Gorge, blue side. We've got Fenix as a Lord Commissar, strong offense and support, fights in melee combat with a refractor field to start out, can also shoot his own fellas in the head. Red side, Big Mathis is a Warboss, a melee hero that can walk through objects, very good offense, disruption and support from the front lines. Death Skull's elite scheme, I think. This is an elite league game. Basically a bunch of the more active 1v1 players in elite got together, put up this league structure, and they play for points and maybe prizes. I'm not sure if there is a prize. I've put some links in the description so you can read up the rules and also look at the current standings on Challenge. If you want to see the replays yourself, you can head over to dawnofwar.info, go to the ladder section, and then look in the log. All of the games highlighted in red are league games, and you can watch them at your leisure in Dawn of War 2. Meanwhile, we're seeing a very aggro Warboss going after the Sentinel here. Gets a hit on. Meanwhile, Sluggers are capping. This is mainly just a distraction. Lord Commissar doesn't look like he's falling for it here. He's got his refractor field up to go and have a look at these Sluggers, see what they're up to. They're getting shot up by these guys, but can they drop a model? Can you kill a model, fellas? Didn't. Even with the Commissar getting hit in, they didn't kill a model. Las guns are super effective. These guys are in big trouble. Special attacks going off. Being thrown all over the place. And eventually they get away. We do have a triple Sluggers opening for Big Mathis. Can he kill these guys? I don't think he's going to be able to. One hit point. But those Sluggers sidearms are so bad they couldn't even take him out. So yeah, triple Sluggers open. And I mean, Dawn of War 2 is a game of victory point control. So you're controlling territory. You don't really get the same concept of a rush build like you might in some other RTS games, but you do get builds that have super high pressure early on. I guess triple Sluggers could do that. We're going to see Catachans from Fenix, but oh, maybe not. We're getting Heavy Weapon Squad. He might just go that with the Sentinel, assuming the Sentinel lives, and ride that out to tier 2. I was going to say that the smart choice for Mathis would be a Looters after the triple Sluggers, but he could go mental and get Storm Boys. Looks like he has gone for the slightly smarter route of Looter Boys. Are they called Looter Boys? No, they're just called Looters. Meanwhile, West, Sluggers on capping duty. He's spreading them out early on to help cap, divide and conquer these guardsmen. He doesn't want them all in a nice blob where they can be very strong with guardsmen repairing sentinels and sentinels taking the brunt of the force and stomping stuff, all supported by your Commissar. So I think Big Mathis trying to split them up, force Fenix to make annoying decisions about where to go. Looters are going to set up here, or maybe not. There we go. Sentinel is getting shots on, but here comes the Warboss. He's found some poor guardsmen. Going to feel the wrath of his massive axe there. 42.5 DPS on that thing. Looters, oh, dropping a model. Going to be very close to dropping another, but they do get away. VP's pretty much even as players start to think about tier 2. And I guess if you're Big Mathis, you go for Death Dread as soon as you can here, even if Fenix, or is it Fenix, I don't know, gets a Chimera up, you still want a Death Dread, I think. March over Bastion Power into a Weird Boy, I guess, to support your Sluggers, although a War Truck would be pretty cool too. War Truck and Sluggers can be a very scary proposition. The thing to watch out for is how Mathis times out when or whether he gets Slugger knobs up in tier 2. It's going to be the thing to watch for. That's going to be a tricky thing to time out, I think. Sentinel getting shots on the node and a multi-las turret going up. Looters are getting shots, but it's right at the edge of the firing arc. So the Sentinel's not taking massive amounts of damage. Doesn't want to be standing there though. Warboss charging through with Now I'm Angry, and also Spiky Armor is up. Going in on these Heavy Weapon Squad guys, gets a hit. Does get a little pop of suppression from the Heavy Bolter there, but now he's out of it. Going to get a model on retreat. There he is, a Slade with that giant axe. It's bigger than the Guardsman, I think. Oh, Sentinel's going to go down here, I believe. The Stomp didn't get them all. Yeah, down he goes, and he as you can see, getting Catechins up, knowing that the Sentinel was going down. They will help control those sluggers. That's what can happen if you have that heavy weapon squad already set up, team. Get it flanked. Your whole engagement can collapse. So you need to watch that positioning. Catechins can guard them, so they'll be a lot more effective because of that. Can guard them with their shotgun blast and disruption and general melee prowess. Those guys have power melee weapons somehow, those Catechins. Sluggers. Speaking of power melee weapons, these guys have their burners. Gives them a couple of power melee weapons. 25 DPS, which isn't bad. And some burners to roast stuff. Catechins in here. That's their shotgun blast, knockback and suppression on that thing. And some decent damage from close range on those shotgunners too. Might see them throw out a grenade launcher on retreat to try and get a model. I guess not. Those guys didn't drop one, which is pretty mental. They were down close to 200 hit points. 478, 330. In terms of standings, I'm not sure where these players were in the Elite League when they played this game. I can't see the league standings through time kind of thing, but I know right now when I looked at the league standings, Don Freeman was on top, having played I think 11 games and I think, and won 9 of them. Warboss on capping duty, guarded by these looters, and players focused on getting that tier 2 up. Fenix could go right now, but he's not. A little bit of reinforcing to do there, but those guys will reinforce 2 at a time, and tier 2 is on the way. So level 2 Bastion. Sluggers trying to cap, but they are going to get shot to pieces if they don't run away, and they do run away. Warboss now. That was weird. Why is he moving so fast here? Does Angry Bits boost his speed too? It does. 1.5. I always forget that. Such an amazing buff. Speed and damage and health regen. It's like the perfect tier 1 buff for your Warboss. Tier 2 for Big Mathis too. A little bit behind Fenix. But I imagine they're going to get their respective tier 2 units out around about the same time. I'm guessing Chimera and Death Tread. But we'll see. We might see Fenix go for some stormtroopers. They can really punish the sluggers with their grenades and of course damage them from long range, supported by Catechins. Ouch. Talk about Catechins, there you go. That's what they can do. That was the all reliable grenade launcher and a shotgun blast at the same time, I think. I'm not sure what the hell happened then. That's a improvised explosive that'll be hidden to the sluggers. They can't spot it without a shooter boy knob leader around, and there are no shooter boys on the field. 418, 329. Sluggers happy to go in on these Catechins here. These guys are no slouches in melee combat. They don't have a melee charge and don't have a special attack either. But in terms of raw DPS, not bad. Getting stuck into these sluggers. And Lord Commissar's there to help. It's a bad fight for those sluggers. They're surprised Mathis decided to take it. Then, speaking of bad fights, Guardsman versus the Warboss is not great for them. And we do see the Chimera on the way for Fenix. 398 to 329 on the VPs. Got a special attack. How did he do that? Is he higher level? He is higher level. He's got his power sword. Or maybe it was one of those lead by example swings. Death Tread is on the way for Big Mathis. I say is he a higher level because you get more melee skill as you level up, which really helps you out in melee fights, as you might expect. Melee skill is what governs how often you perform special attacks. Your melee skill versus the melee skill of the thing you're attacking. Ouch, Warboss charging right into a heavy weapon squad, but does get in around them, and those guys flee with their lives. Sluggers here with an Obliter. He has 65 DPS power melee. That guy is pretty nasty. Like 300 hit points too. At least. It might even be 350. Are we not gonna see this? He might be waiting for them to move away and then set it off. Oh, I don't think he was paying attention there. Don't think he was paying attention to his improvised explosive. Chimera on the field. Transport vehicle for Guardsmen. Unique among transports in that you can get inside and shoot the other guns. I guess the battle wagon kind of has that functionality, since when you put a unit inside it activates the other guns. Pretty much the same thing. Here's the Death Dread. And he has seen it now, so is he going to respond with Stormtrooper Melters or something? Or does he just get a las cannon? He is getting a las cannon. That surprises me. I thought for sure he'd get a separate source of AV and keep that suppression. But he's going for the big, hard las cannon shots here. Big damage bursts and slowing them down on hits. But the Death Dread gets away. Another heavy weapon squad it is for Fenix. So this guy might get autocannon or even stay with the heavy bolter. Commissar on capping duty also needs to try and grab this wreck point back. Looks like Catachins will do that. Also maybe drop their improvised explosive. Is this one still up over here? It is. Warboss always got his enhanced custom shooter too. Cool. Pretty nifty range weapon. Good DPS and it has shoot 'em good, which is really fun to say. More Knob Leader for the sluggers. Do they all have the Knob Leader? They do. That's a pretty scary melee right here. What has Fenix done with his second heavy weapon squad? For now, it has the heavy bolter, but where the hell is it? Guardsmen getting caught trying to get back to the Chimera. They do get inside of it. Las Cannon's in big, big trouble. Waited a bit too long to retreat here, I think. Wow. And it goes down. I thought it would get away, despite the relatively late retreat, but no. Double sluggers on you as you try to retreat is bad news. What are you shooting at, fellas? Oh, the Warboss. He's run away now. There's that Swamp and buff, which reduces the incoming range damage, I believe. I think it used to give you a speed buff as well. I'm not sure if it still does. Tank Buster's on the way for Big Mathis. That is in direct response to the Chimera. Death Dread's taking a lot of damage. These guys have a melter when you get their sergeant. Don't want to get in melee combat though. Smack. I thought they'd drop a model on that attack, but they didn't. Slugger's taking a lot of damage from the Chimera. They are trying to take it down with their melee weapons here. They got pretty damn close. Oh, I thought it was a Manticore, but it's just the Basilisk Flare. I was going to say, I did not notice a Manticore coming out. Not often you see them in a 1v1. Where are the tank busters? Here they are. Pretty solid anti-vehicle option for your Orks. They have that rocket barrage, which does, I believe, take the red resource, but it's incredibly effective. You can hit it. Stormtroopers on the way for Fenix. What are these guys doing over here? We do have... Oh, he dropped one of his slugger squads. But he still has the potential to repair pretty well with two of them. 271, 329 on the VPs. Warboss getting shut out of this west side by the heavy bolter. Doesn't take that much damage though. Spiky armor gives us some good health regen. Just gonna give up and cap that power point, I suppose. Where's that las cannon? Oh, las cannon super died, so these guys are gonna get the anti-armor kit for sure. There it is. Melter guns and a melter bomb is a pretty nasty combo, especially when you can throw the melter bomb out of infiltration. Warboss getting shot up. There's that tank buster barrage. Oh, actually killed a model. Usually you'll see it only used on vehicles. These guys have been sneaky. Nothing can spot them. But looks like they don't want to risk the wrath of those sluggers, so they're not going to engage right now. Or are they? We have some guardsmen in support. These guys with their Commissar leader, so they're up to 12 models and reinforcing 3 at a time. And the same with these fellas. The Commissar also gives, I think he gives the entire squad a damage buff of like 15% or something, which is pretty handy. Death Dread waltzing through unopposed so far. Stormtroopers have stayed hidden. Now they're revealed, but they don't have the energy to throw their melter bomb any longer. But you see the damage those melter guns do. They don't want to engage though with the sluggers there. Bit of a blob cap here from Mathis. Pro strats. What are you up to, Lord Commissar? He's got a Xenos Power Claw. Almost 85 DPS heavy melee. Not quite as much DPS as the Warboss's real Power Claw. But pretty close. That heavy weapon squad might want to inch its way further to the middle. But we'll see. It would be risky to go there. Oh, Slugger's got double guardsmen off the field. Pretty sharpish there. Lord Commissar's level 3. Gets a model with that power claw strike. Warboss charging through, but doesn't actually hit him. Now his shield's up. He might want to put it back down so he can regen some energy. Oh! See the rockets exploding those mines and knocking the stormtroopers all over the place. Lord Commissar looking for some aggro, just trying to stop the cap, and he does stop it. Level 3 with stubbornness too. Might be hard to deal with when he's surrounded by allies. By his little guardsmen. Well, I'm not sure what a Death Tread is up to. He's very wary of those stormtroopers, I suppose. Oh, looters sent flying by the Commissar. Not sure what happened there. Was that a shotgun blast? He didn't seem to do his melee special attack animation. Look at that Commissar healing up from his stubbornness. That was crazy. Can they take out his Death Tread? That special attack was crazy. Sent the Commissar flying 265 to 305 on VPs. Death Tread gets away. It's now a commando squad coming for Big Mathis and tier 3 for Fenix. Are we going to see a Lehman Russ? I think we are. Double cap now for Mathis though. And the commandos are a good choice here. The sooner he can get the blobs of infantry off the field, the sooner he can run through and deal some damage. Chimera's still around too, of course. Done pretty well with it so far as Fenix. Here comes the Warboss. Not seen him use his shoot 'em good. I'm sure he's used it. Good damage. Just basically from the weapon too. Sluggers on this west side. Might burn down some gens with their burners. Oh, they're being chased by the Lord Commissar. Look at that power claw he has. Looks like they are persuaded to leave. Warboss is capping mid. Oh, these guys are all spotting the mines now because of the commandos. They are a detector unit. 204, 305, about 100 VPs in it then. Mathis is going to have a 2-to-1 looks like. And it's up to Fenix to crack that mid. We'll see if he can manage it. I'm surprised the Death Tread still lives. He's done well with it, has Mathis. He's judged it quite well. These guys now with an autocannon. No more heavy bolter, so no more suppression. But autocannon gives you really good damage to all targets with a small area of effect. Splash too. More commandos. Double burners. Double burner bombs into a Love the Daka would be nasty. You can also set up nukes and stuff with it. It's a dead Commissar, I think. Because sluggers are no joke. Down he goes. Meanwhile, mid, here comes the Warboss. Charging through. Now I am angry. Up over 1200 hit points at level 3. Going to hit level 4 pretty soon. There it is. Just took out a model or two with that special attack, I think. And Death Tread tearing things apart. Looking pretty good here for Mathis. Look at that. Burner bomb just wrecked the autocannon heavy weapon squad, I think. That was a really bad engagement for Fenix. He just dropped another squad there. Down to just guardsmen, catechins and a chimera. That might be GG. That was an excellent push from Mathis. Started off when that Lord Commissar got isolated against sluggers. And he carried it through. Picked his targets well. Knew to throw that burner. On the heavy weapon squad there. Might lose his sluggers. Just as I say how great that engagement was for him. They did survive. They did survive. Double commandos. Kicking some ass. Lehman Russ is on the field here. It might make a big difference. We'll see. Commandos can upgrade to rocket launchers though, and tank busters already have a bunch of them, and there's a beamy looter there. So we'll see. 124, 305 on the VPs. It's going to be tough for Fenix to come back into this, it feels like. That was a really bad engagement at a pretty pivotal moment. Just as the Lehman Russ hits the field. I mean, if he got this out with everything else still on the field, we'd have a hell of a fight. As it stands, he might be able to deal with the Lehman Russ, or at least keep it at bay. This wreck point is still uncapped. Keeps nicking it, doesn't he? It was sluggers then, I think, doing it. Here comes the Lord Commissar. Has been repurchased by Fenix. He wants that power claw on the field. Look at this. Death Tread going ballistic. 101, 305. Smack. Down goes his shield. Taking a hell of a lot of damage there from those commandos. Can't underestimate the damage from the shooters. This squad now has their commando knob too, with that rocket launcher doing its thing. Commissar getting caught by the Death Tread a little bit. Doesn't have his stormtroopers anymore. Might be able to deal with the Death Tread here. Oh, sink kill. That's going to save the Death Tread maybe. These guys need to come in and throw their burner on the Catachans. They're being tied up anyway, but here comes the Lehman Russ. Catachans got inside the Chimera, I believe. Lehman Russ might finish off the Death Tread. Yes, it does. And survives. Maybe those commandos could have stayed around a little bit longer, got a couple more shots on. Chimera survived too. 68 to 305. Mathis still riding a 2-to-1 cap though. Sluggers get away. Looters set. Oh, and then shut down by the Basilisk Flare. I thought they were setting up to face this thing, but I guess not. Down it goes anyway. Tank bus is taking care of it. And this thing's persuaded to leave. GG, says Fenix. It was a GG. That pivotal moment when he got his Commissar isolated over here and then Mathis pushed through at the right time, in the right way, and kind of decimated stuff. Those double commandos were a great purchase. Don't think Fenix was expecting that at all. What level was this fella? Level 3, and we had a level 5 Warboss. Had his own power claw at the end. Maybe he ripped it off the Commissar and upgraded it a bit. Well, there we go, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and check out that Elite League stuff. I don't think there's time to still enter this season, but next season maybe. And you can check out the standings and all that kind of stuff. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.